Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king. It means that anyone who has to declare himself a king can never truly be a king. These words by renowned author George R.R. Martin fit Donald Trump perfectly in today's world. The way Trump has had to shout every day for the past month saying, I am right, I have already won this war with Iran. I am the world leader. I have crushed Iran. Seeing and hearing all this, it seems that America is still miles away from a true victory. If America were even close to victory, Trump wouldn't need to declare himself the winner every other day, every other hour.
And we've won. Let me say, we've won.
Oh, I think we've won.
We've already won in many ways. We've won this. This war has been won.
Trump celebrates April Fool's Day all year round anyway, but on the 1st of April he thought, let's do something wild today. He addresses the nation on television and tells everyone how great he is, and that he has defeated Iran so thoroughly in 4 weeks that it will take Iran another 3 or 4 weeks just to be defeated again. A double Uno reverse. Tonight, Iran's navy is gone. Their air force is in ruins. Most of their leaders are now dead. The command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. We are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. By the time Trump's victory speech ended, applause had begun in Iran as well, and the Iranian government launched a few more missiles towards Israel. Although Trump has already destroyed Iran's air force and air defense, Iran has still managed to take down 30 American aircraft, including advanced F-35s, and now the IRGC claims that on April 3rd, they shot down yet another fighter jet. From the very beginning, the strategy for this war seems to be backfiring for America and Israel, and now the situation has reached the point where people are being laid off. In the midst of the war, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has asked Army Chief of Staff General Randy George to resign. It is being said that General George did not agree with Hegseth regarding the ground invasion, which is why he has been shown the door. Perhaps General George understands well. He knows that sending troops into such terrain at this time could cost many American lives. Several other senior officers are also being removed right now. America is winning so many wars. On the other hand, after defeating Iran, Trump is so pleased with his team's performance that after firing Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem, it might soon be time for Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard to say goodbye to their jobs as well. Perhaps Trump is starting to realize that his close associates have been making a fool of him for quite some time. That's why Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and Labor Secretary Lori Chavez might also lose their jobs. Even if it was said jokingly, Trump also mentioned that if a deal with Iran doesn't happen, Vice President G. Devens will be held responsible. But if a peace deal is reached, if the peace proposal is signed and Iran agrees, then he will take all the credit for himself. Editor, we've seen this credit-taking behavior somewhere else too. Anyway, on the other hand, Iran also knows very well that it can't win this war. But if it manages to hold its ground like this, its existence will at least be preserved. But if America isn't winning the war and Iran isn't winning the war, then who is actually winning? You won't find the answer to this in the west of Iran. You'll find it in the east of Iran. Sitting thousands of kilometers away from the battlefield, China is emerging as the real winner of this war because through this conflict, China is getting everything it has always wanted without even asking for it. The dollar is weakening, America is becoming weaker, its military credibility is turning to dust, and its image as the leader of the world has been severely damaged. Its allies are leaving it every other day. We had made an episode to tell you about this, and even within the country, within America itself, its weaknesses, its corruption, its hypocrisy, the whole world is witnessing it. In today's episode, we will try to understand how China is finding opportunity in disaster. What are the things in this war that are benefiting China? How is China, sitting far from this war, quietly playing its own game without losing a single life? And what is China's real agenda, its true objective? Through this war, is America, unwittingly and unknowingly, handing over the reins of the world to China? Trump has made one thing clear: this war is not going to stop anytime soon. It will last at least a few more weeks, will become even more intense, and there will be even more bloodshed. That's why you've seen tremendous volatility in the markets over the past 24 to 48 hours. And right now, the whole world is going through a phase of uncertainty. No one knows what will happen tomorrow. Before understanding what China has gained, let's first take a look at what the US has lost. In the past month, 15 American service personnel have died. More than 300 have been injured. However, there is already an uproar in America over the claim that these are not the real figures. The real number of injured and dead is being hidden by the Department of War. What do you think? In the midst of war, to prevent bad photos from coming out, reporters are being banned from the Pentagon by Pete Hegseth. Do you think this Hegseth person will tell you the truth about American casualties? Recently, the deadliest attack took place at Saudi Arabia's Prince Sultan Air Base, where Iran destroyed 8 KC-135 refueling tankers. Along with that, an E-3 Sentry AWACS aircraft was targeted by their Martyr drone. This was a very deadly attack for America because this aircraft could track drones, missiles, and aircraft up to about 400 kilometers. It could detect where an attack was coming from and what was happening throughout the entire area. It maintained complete command and coordination. It ensured air superiority for America. According to experts, the damage or destruction of the AWACS has certainly disrupted America's air operations, but it still has 16 such aircraft, now 15, and their price is said to be around $250 million each. At present, the USA has sent a replacement aircraft to the Middle East. If we talk about total aircraft losses, at least 30 American aircraft have been destroyed. This includes 16 MQ-9 Reaper surveillance drones. These drones are regarded with fear around the world, but Iran has repeatedly succeeded in shooting them down. The cost of one drone is more than $30 million. India has also purchased the MQ-9 Bravo variant of this drone. We bought 31 drones for $3.5 billion. Along with this, 3 F-15 fighters were shot down in friendly fire and an invisible-to-radar F-35, which Iran hit using thermal imaging. The IRGC claims that on April 3rd, it shot down another fighter plane. The total bill for all of this for American taxpayers is already $3 billion. This is not the cost of the war itself, that's even higher and even more expensive. China is now realizing just how big the gap is between what America says and what it actually does. Its tactics, its weapons, its strategy, all of these are now going to be an open book examination for China when it comes to power projection. If we talk about it, the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier is the largest warship in the world. People should tremble just by looking at this warship, but what happens if a fire breaks out in a laundry room on this ship? 200 soldiers get injured here, and the ship has to be taken away from the battlefield. It will take a year or two to repair it. I mean, if this tragedy hadn't happened, it would almost be a comedy scene. Like, is this really the world's most powerful force? And then, America has already used more than 2,400 Patriot interceptors, and it could take 4 to 5 years to refill and manufacture them again. As for their third type of interceptor, 40% of them have already been depleted. They even have to move interceptors from Southeast Asia to the Middle East. They have to beg Poland for help, so now the weapons they actually have are running out. These figures are loudly showing and telling us that America's operational plan has completely failed. They greatly underestimated Iran, and now they have no options left. That's why they're so restless. After destroying a civilian bridge in Iran, Donald Trump is celebrating on social media as the so-called leader of the free world. These days, by bringing down bridges, you think of yourself as a strongman. That's why now, when China is telling America to at least tone things down and stop the war, people are agreeing with China. Just think how far America has fallen, that a communist China is now being respected in global diplomacy and its dominance is increasing. But none of this is happening by accident. This is a well-thought-out move by China. There is an old saying in China, which the government there has followed closely: hide your strength, bide your time. While America is busy showing off its power day and night, China moves forward by hiding its strength and its intentions. That's why, even after winning this war, Xi is not spreading his wings and dancing. Not like a peacock or like Trump. The most interesting thing is how Chinese spy satellites provided Iran with precise information, intelligence, and data about the battlefield throughout this war. Even down to where the US radars are, where the planes are stationed, and the positions of the warships. This information is extremely valuable in war, especially if you have a limited number of missiles that you can launch at your opponent. On top of that, by using China's Beidou navigational satellite system, the Shahed drone has achieved deadly accuracy. Such precision that America had never seen anything like it before, nor had they ever imagined it. They thought, okay, they'll just launch them, fire rockets blindly, and some will hit the target. But here, even a plane was targeted. Secondly, where did Iran get these deadly ballistic missiles from? How is it able to fire so many ballistic missiles? Is Iran really that self-reliant? Despite the world saying no countless times, despite being forbidden, China has continuously supplied rocket fuel to Iran. Sodium perchlorate is an ingredient used in making rocket fuel. This comes from China. Along with that, China has also supplied advanced radar systems, semiconductors, sensors, and CM-302 anti-ship missiles to Iran. The total bill is $5 billion, which Iran has paid to China. In return for so much generosity, Iran sells oil to China at a cheap price. 80% of Iran's oil exports go only to China. Despite the sanctions, China has bought up to $140 billion worth of oil from Iran in the past 5 years. India could have bought this cheap oil too. But out of fear of the US, we turned our backs on Iran. We neither bought their oil nor did we stay at their Chabahar port, and China took advantage of the situation. America and Europe may not notice this right now, but while the whole world is focused on Iran, China is quietly studying America and its mistakes. US tactics, US performance, US logistics, everything is being studied in real time, tracked by satellite, and notes are being taken. Meanwhile, militarization in the South China Sea is increasing separately. Tomorrow, when China threatens Taiwan, it will have America's entire playbook. What America will say, what it will do, what it can do, and even how long it will take America to replenish its weapons once they run out. All of this is being revealed right now. Fifth point, China is able to do all this without directly confronting America. Without any risk, without sending a single soldier to the battlefield, without any diplomatic squabbling. The Strait of Hormuz is open. For whom? For China, and for those countries that are buying oil in Chinese yuan. Now, Iran is also discussing access to Hormuz with the European Union. Basically, China is able to weaken America and the American dollar without firing a single shot. Just imagine, if more countries start buying oil in Chinese yuan to pass through Hormuz, what will happen to the petrodollar? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. China has learned this lesson very well. By helping Iran, it has kept America busy in the Middle East and hasn't even given it time to think about China. Trump doesn't have any more bandwidth right now to deal with this war. They'll deal with China later. And China is quietly working to make the world multipolar, trying to outmaneuver America. For years, it has been China's dream that America's image falls in the eyes of the world and China's image rises. Trump has left no stone unturned in helping China fulfill this dream. Let me explain how. When Trump returns to the White House for his second term in 2025, America's image has been shrinking ever since. America's commitment to a rules-based international order has become almost negligible today. He keeps clashing with allies like NATO on a daily basis, and now America is using its power in such a domineering way that neither institutions, nor markets, nor allies, no one is happy. Trump has lived up to Xi's expectations perfectly. He has delivered all this in less than a year, and that too absolutely free of cost. India too was hit so hard with tariffs, hit so hard that Trump literally pushed Modi saying that, brother, go befriend China. It's true, I admit that China is not a democracy and is a huge threat to us, but America is behaving even worse than China. The way he orchestrated a coup in Venezuela, carried out abductions, is now threatening to seize Greenland, is trying to merge Canada with the United States, attacking Iran without any thought, waging wars, and on top of all this, he didn't inform his own allies about these wars, nor did he consult them. He kept making a mockery of all his allies. He even made French President Macron's personal messages public.
Then I call up France, Macron, whose wife treats him extremely badly. He's still recovering from the right to the jaw.
Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Now, when you act like someone who failed 8th grade, what happened was exactly what people expected. Last year, the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. This year, in 2026, Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney, the UK's Prime Minister Karl Starmer, and also Germany's Chancellor. All these people went to Beijing, met with Xi, discussed trade partnerships, and further elevated China's dominance and standing on the global stage. Poor Trump kept fuming with anger.
What do you think about the UK getting into business with China? Keir Starmer was in Beijing.
Well, it's very dangerous for them to do that, and it's even more dangerous, I think, for Canada to get into business with China.
There was a time when the world looked at America with a grudging respect. Now, even its friends don't give it that respect anymore. All NATO countries have outright refused to support America in this war, in Israel's war. Spain has closed its airspace to the US military. France has stopped military supply planes carrying Israeli jets from passing through its airspace. Italy hasn't even given America permission to use its bases. Even a country like Poland has clearly refused, saying, you cannot take our Patriot missiles. The situation is such that Trump is saying, all right, China, now you help us out. Please get the Hormuz Strait open for us. Talk to them, will you?
China uses it 90% of their energy. Japan is 95% of the energy. It would be nice if those countries would get involved.
While Trump is talking nonsense, on the contrary, Xi is projecting himself as a stable, predictable, mature adult leader who follows the UN rules, supports global stability, and does not take any decision in this chaos, but takes everything thoughtfully. China is projecting itself as the complete opposite of Trump's chaotic foreign policy. The American military is completely troubled in Iran. Bombs are being dropped like water, but there is no impact. Now, no one in the world is willing to help. American military assets are shifting from the Indo-Pacific region to the Middle East. Most American allies are now openly refusing the US, and apart from posting on social media or hurling abuses, Trump has no other options left. The high-stakes meeting between Trump and Xi was supposed to happen in March. It has now been postponed and pushed to the month of May. And now, given the current situation, China will clearly come to this meeting with the upper hand. It will talk to the world from a position of strength. But even then, you won't hear any harsh rhetoric from China. You won't see any chest thumping. It will quietly keep doing its work. Because, as the saying goes, when your enemy is making a mistake, you shouldn't interrupt them, you shouldn't stop them. China is doing exactly that. First, it's playing the game quietly, supporting Iran and making its own profit. On the world stage, it is emerging as a senior, stable, and serious leader. And as America makes mistakes, it quietly stands by, smiling to itself as if saying, "Go ahead, make more mistakes, because in the end, dominance will be ours across the world."